and welcome. This is Ruth and I'm back again with another Cyber Week launch from Tonic Studios, and it's this huge 69 piece die set. It's called the Botanical Burst Box Collection. So just look at that. You can see already that you're going to be able to make a square box and a circle box, but look how many other different dies are there that you can use for other things as well. You'll be able to use these for cards. You could even make a circular card from that, an easel card or whatever, and lots of layering dies that can be used on square cards. But all of these different panels could be used on different cards as well. So you could use it even on scrapbooks as well, because you could use some of these as frames. You could use this type of thing with the circle and flowers on it to frame a photo in the middle, or you could use the layering circles, or loads and loads of different ideas for that. So if you haven't been here before, you're very welcome. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and you can also give it a thumbs up if you do enjoy it at the end. And don't forget, you can leave me a little comment as well. You can share it if you feel like it, and I'm really happy to have you along. And don't forget to join me for more videos soon. But I want to get into this one right away because, as I say, 69 dies and there's just so much you can do with it. I can see lots of paper piecing ideas coming up here and all sorts of things. Now I might not do that in this video, but it's definitely an option there. So there are instructions on the inside of the packet as well, so that should make life a little bit easier for you. But hopefully if you just follow along with this video, you'll be able to manage it quite well and enjoy it as well. Now first of all, I'm going to make the circle box. So what you need to do is make up 4 little drawers and 4 little drawer compartments. So this die is the front of the drawer, and I've cut that out once. And then I have cut out the little drawer sides with this die, which has a straight edge at the top and side, and it has glue tab on the side and the bottom. This other one that looks similar is actually for the little drawer compartment. So all we need to do, this is really simple. You need to just remember that there are 2 dies here, and one is slightly smaller than the other. So the smaller one is the base of the drawer, and you'll need to cut that out twice for each drawer. So what I've actually done here is I've used 300 GSM card for the actual drawer itself, and I don't have an awful lot of it, so I have cut one of these bases out in 300 and the other one out in the ordinary Craft Perfect texture weave card, the classic card. So it's 216 GSM I think, but that is well enough able to hold and do what it is I want it to do, because I've already tried it. So I have burnished all these little glue tabs back, and now I'm just going to put glue on here and join those together. Before I do that, I want to curve this slightly. Now I've also gone ahead and cut out the little decorative panel that I want to put on here. You can put that on at the end, but I think I might just glue it on now instead, because it's well, it's really beautiful and it just will curve around with that very easily now. So I'm going to take my glue with the little precision nozzle on it, because the detail in this one is actually very fine. So what I've used for this is these 2 dies. You can see they're 2 dies together. I've taped them together, and I have used Turquoise Lake glitter card. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've always loved this glitter card, but I've tried to resist using it on absolutely everything, but I'm back to it today again. So now all you need to do is glue this little tab onto this curved part, and that's the sides of the drawer ready, and you just need to add the base in then. So I always like to add a couple of little pegs on there. You've probably seen me using these before, but I think they're just perfect for holding everything in place, because sometimes you think you've got it in the right place and then it just moves slightly off when it's just about to grab. So there we are. I'll put one in there. Now I have all these tabs already pushed back in, scored, folded over and whatever, and I'm going to take the 300 GSM smooth card and put it in along the tabs at the bottom there, and that will cover it on the inside. So I'm going to put glue on there the whole way around, and that's the piece that you'll see from the inside. So I'm going to cover that with the 300 GSM. Then when I get that done, I'll be able to turn it over and cover the glue tabs on the other side with the other card that I have here that's lighter weight. But just press that down onto those tabs there and it will follow that lovely curve. And once that's all dried and ready, then you'll be able to turn it over and you can add your glue onto here, a little bit more in there maybe, glue onto there and right around the outside of this, and that will cover all those glue tabs and also reinforce that. But I found it didn't actually need the 300 GSM card on both parts, so that's a win-win for me because I don't have much of that left. So there we are. So that's my little drawer, and now I want to make the drawer compartment. So you'll see the other piece that I used here. The die is the one with the tabs on 3 sides, and you cut that out twice, and then on one of them you're going to cut this little tab off because you only need it on one. So just straight up there and join these two together with this little tab. Actually, it's better, which I haven't done there, is to glue the part together where you have just cut it off, and then that piece won't be seen whenever you actually assemble all of this. So if you haven't got it exactly straight or whatever, it's not going to be seen after that. So there we are, we've got that little bit done, and it says on the instructions that you've got to cut this bigger piece out 4 times. So what I've done is I've cut it out twice in the texture weave card and twice in the smooth card. So all I need to do now is glue this. I want to have this smooth card showing from the top, so I'm going to glue it on there, and then I'm going to glue the other one on here, and when I've finished then I will glue this one onto the inside, and that's everything all nice and neat. Now that's one little compartment ready, and I can put the drawer in there, and all I need to do now is make another 3. So when I've got 4 of those together, then I'll come back and put the circle on the top and bottom and join them all up. Well, you can see here that I've gone ahead and done lots of die cutting since I was last videoing, but I have the 4 little drawers made, I have the 4 little compartments made, and then I put little handles on. So I've used this die, you can see it there, and I've actually cut it out in I wanted it in the glitter card, but the glitter card, I thought anyway, was not just strong enough. Whenever you wanted to pull that, it sort of bent a little bit. So I've cut that out in the 300 GSM white card and also in the glitter card, and I've glued them both together, and then you just bend them slightly and you'll see the 2 little circles on this back die cut, and just glue them on and hold them for a moment or 2, and you'll get this lovely little curve on them. So now they all fit inside these little compartments, and what I want to do now then is glue all of the little compartments together. I'll stack these up and bring these in. So I have all these cut, and I want to join them all together, and then I've used the outside die from the circle, the layering circle ones here, and I've cut 2 of those. So I've cut 1 for the bottom, that's this one, and then I'll come back in a moment or 2 and show you the second one because I've actually gone ahead and decorated that as well. So here I go with the glue, gluing these together first and then onto here. Now I've gone ahead and decorated the top layer up a little bit, so I've cut the same circle die out, and then there are some beautiful dies in that set. The inner one there, I have cut out the large circle in white first of all, that's this one, and then I have used this one and this one together, and that has the most beautiful delicate cutting edge around there, and I glued that on right round here. And then I used this one, and that cuts out the solid centre because there's no cutting line in there, and I've gone ahead and glued that on there. Then I took the, not the next one here, but the sort of scalloped one and this one together, and I have cut those out in the glitter card again, and I have glued them on to this circle in white, and I've added 3D foam pads on there, and I'm going to attach that on there just to add a little bit of dimension. But I always find with glitter card that you need a little bit extra adhesive on it, so while I'm still adding the 3D foam pads there to get the dimension a bit too, but I'm also going to add some glue because I just want to be sure that that definitely grabs. And I'll pop that into the centre, and then I'll go ahead and just attach this to the top the way I've done with the plain one on the bottom, and that's it, finished, and it looks really beautiful. Now there's lots of little dies that I could have used to go into the centre here, but for you and all sorts of things like that. So I have a little idea for putting something on here. I didn't want to add those sentiments, so whenever I take the top off my glue container to add the little top on for the precision nozzle, I keep these, in fact I keep them from all empty ones, and I'm just going to prise that off and set it in the middle, and I think that would be lovely. Moving on to the square box now, you'll want to take this die that cuts out the 3 pieces all in one. So 2 of them are just square and the other one has the glue tabs on the side. And for each box that fits into this square one, you'll need to cut 2 of these to actually make up the little box itself, and then you'll cut a third one to make the little door on it. Now you don't actually need to cut out the full thing and waste your card, because you're only going to need these 2 pieces here, and as you can see, where have I done it here? As you can see from this, that I have just laid this onto my card, cut around it, and then I'm going to cut this off, so I didn't even need to cut that out in the first place with my die cutting machine. And then I'm just going to, you can actually do this with the guillotine or just with your scissors if you're good enough, cutting down this line straight down there to the other edge, and you won't need that. So those are the 3 pieces that you will need to make each of the little the little square compartments that fit inside this square box. And then what we do now then is glue these 2 together, and then fold up all these sides and make the box first of all, and then we'll add this other little piece into it. Then you can go ahead and put glue on the piece that you've cut, and pop that inside there. That then will act as a little door for opening and closing the box. Now I suppose you could technically go ahead and use this and just have 4 of those together if you had some way of attaching this and opening and closing the doors, but if you go ahead and make the little shelves the way we've done for putting the drawers into the circular one, you can make 2 for each of these and glue them to the door. So I've gone ahead and done that on this one. So I've made 2 of these shelves and glued them together, and then I've glued them onto the door just here, and that fits in there nicely, and it just means that that door closes really snugly and sits like that. So I'm going to go ahead now and make these for the rest of them, and I'll come back when I've done that, and then we'll glue those together. This is exactly the same process as I used to make the little compartments in the circular one, but just to save you recapping, in case you're following along with this as you're making your own, I thought I would just add it in here again. So just to recap, it's the larger one of these segment dies for the compartment, and then that's for the drawer, so we don't need that just now, and you'll need to cut out 2 of these in the smooth card, and again I'm going to cut 2 of them in the texture weave classic card, and we'll need to cut 2 of these. So for each compartment you'll take 2 of these and you'll cut this little tab off here, you'll glue that one on here. I think the last time I glued it on the inside, it actually looks slightly better if you glue it on the outside, because then you won't see it at all, the little join when it comes to it. You can fold that over and just make sure that it's perfectly flat and aligned, and then the glue will grab. Then you'll just need to set that up, fold these over, and you can glue the top on here and the bottom on here, so it will sit like this, and then you'll put the 2 of the texture weave pieces of card on the inside up in here and down in here to cover those little joins. Like to make a bigger compartment for the next one, so I'm just going to see if this works. So instead of having 2 the way I have here, I would like to just have 1. So I've cut out the same 4 pieces that I've used for the other one. So that's the one with the 3 glue tabs, as you can see here, and then obviously on these 2 where I've been doing this before, I've cut off the side glue tab here. But on the bottom 2 here, I'm going to cut off the long glue tab along here, and on this one exactly the same. So now I want to glue, I'll burnish these together, burnish these first of all, sorry, and then I'll glue them all together. So I want to glue this on here, and then these pieces down in behind here, and that on there. Fold this over and we'll use the top and bottom. We don't need to fold these 2 tabs because they're going to get glued directly onto that, so I only need to burnish the middle ones here and the top and bottom ones. This time to decorate the inside of this, because I'm going to leave this as a little compartment, and the top of the box is going to be decorated with this beautiful Miami Mint card. That's the speciality card, which I'll leave a link to down below as well. So I want to cover these joins, and I want to cover the top, and I've used plain cream card or plain ivory in the other sections, but in this I've cut the same size out again in Miami Mint, and I'm going to glue that in there, and then 2 panels which measure 6.5 centimeters by 7, and I'm going to glue those in there. this time then I'm going to glue this panel directly onto the door, and then that will close in there. I've got 4 little boxes already now, and 2 of them have shelf areas and 2 of them have drawer parts in it. So I've laid them together so that you can see everything is going around clockwise or whatever way. So long as they're actually all facing in the same direction, then the little doors will all open properly. And I have laid them so that I've got a drawer, a shelf, a drawer, a shelf and a drawer. And then now I'm just going to go ahead and glue these together, and then I have die cut one of the squares for the bottom, and I'm going to glue that onto the bottom of it, and then when I turn it over I'll glue this part that I've started to decorate onto the top and then finish off the decoration for that. But first of all, let's glue all these together. So I've glued the tops and the bottom on there, and everything's all held in place nice and firmly. And then I've gone ahead with these 2 dies, and I've cut the plain one out in the ivory card, and I've also used the 2 of them together on the Miami Mint and made myself these little panels. Now I could have I've actually got all them on except for this one, but I could have glued this greeny Miami Mint one directly onto the areas here, but I thought it looked just a little bit nicer and a little bit more finished whenever I actually backed it onto something. You could add that on 3D foam pads, but I'm actually just going to glue it, and it just has that little tiny subtle difference that makes it look a little bit more professional when that piece is not directly added straight onto the front here. So, and it would even look more professional if I got it straight. There we are. So I have that, as you can see there, the whole way right around, and then I've gone with this little die. So it's not exactly the same handle as the last time, but I've cut 4 of those out, and I'm going to glue the other 2 on, but you can see here how I have just glued those on the front of the little opening drawer sections. Now hopefully you won't notice, but these are not exactly the same the whole way around, because they vary slightly up here, and that means that this area is slightly different. You see how we've got, let me see if you can see it. Yes, you can see it there. So there are 2 flowers here and 1 here, and I have got them not exactly the same, but I think at a quick glance you won't notice, so I'm not going to take them off again. There's only 1 in the wrong place, I think. So anyhow, we'll go ahead then and glue these little handles on. Give it a little mould just in the centre there. Turn those back and glue by these little handle edges here. And remember, it's just going to go on the ones that actually open. And now that I've got some of them on, I can't lay it down flat, so I've got to put it this way and there, and just hold that for a moment. Now to add more decoration to the top of my box, so I've used this die along with this one. So first of all, I've cut this out in ivory, in plain ivory card. Then I have used the 2 of those dies together in Miami Mint, and that has given me this beautiful set here. So I've glued the Miami Mint one straight onto the ivory one, and I've got 3D foam pads on the back. Now I've added just a dot of glue. I shouldn't actually need it, but I always add 1 little dot on anyway, and that just gives a beautiful bit of dimension. You can see it there. Then I have used this die in ivory card, and I've used the 2 of them together with the Miami Mint, and that has given me this die cut here. Actually beautiful, so delicate and just really beautiful, and again with 3D foam pads. Now you can see whenever I used this one, actually is not a verso die, it's got an outside cutting edge. but I used it along with this one, and it has given me this little frame, which I don't need, but that's what it would look like there. And if you wanted to cut it again in a different colour and add it on, it certainly would look very nice as well, but I don't really want that on there. I like that kind of effect that we've got going on there. Then I have used these two dies in the same way again, so one in ivory and then the two together in Miami Mint, and I've got them here with 3D foam pads, and that's going into the middle. Now, isn't that just beautiful? I think I'll look for another little gem and put it on top here, but now I've got these little compartments which open, and you can see here we've got shelves in here, but in the alternate ones I've got little units that I could use either as shelves, but I'm going to make drawers and put them in there. I've made the little drawers then, and I've put them in here, and you can see that they're the little ones with the pulley front on there. I don't know what the proper correct terminology is, but I've used these dies together, and then this one for the pocket, not the same ones that I used for this one earlier on. So that is it all finished. There are drawers and pockets and all sorts, and then this on the way around. And on the top there, as you can see, I found another little gem. Now there's actually dies that you can use to decorate on the top here. I'll just show you this one, and then obviously the corresponding outline die of that. For the card I've used here, I don't think that I would be wanting to put that on there, because it would just make that too thick, and then this would be very, very difficult to get in and out. But if you have used or are going to use thinner card, I'm quite sure that would work and would be lovely as well. But I think this ivory is really nice whenever you open it up, and it certainly looks really nice when you turn it around. So that is my two projects. Those are my two projects. My lovely little circular one with the little pull-out drawers, and the larger, taller one you can see there is obviously twice the height of this one. And then we've got the different drawers and whatever else on it. So thank you very, very much for watching. If you've hung around right to now, you deserve a medal, because that was quite long, but very enjoyable for me, and I hope at least as enjoyable for you. I hope you will make this, and if you do, I'd love to see what you've done with it as well, or even some suggestions of what you might like to do with it. So, as always, my affiliate links to these will be down below in the description of the video. I get a little commission from that, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. I'd really, really love you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you can keep up to date with all of these. I've always loads of videos coming up. I've always probably got about 8 to 10 of them in draft form, where they're just waiting to be published all the time when the products are ready. So I do try to keep ahead like that. And don't forget to give it a like if you do enjoy it, and give me a little, leave me a little comment if you have time to do that too, and we'll keep in touch. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.